What's the best investment you've made in your business this last year?
Quantum Wealth Academy. Easily.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
love
not
it.
just saying that because I'm like on this
Here
podcast
with me.
and I'm not being paid. She's not paying me to say this. Like, yeah, easily, easily.
What if the way you think about money is the exact thing keeping you from having more of it? Every thought you have about money is either expanding your capacity for wealth or capping it. And most of us are walking around with beliefs that are quietly sabotaging our success. I'm Jillian Minter, and welcome to Quantum Wealth, where we're blending manifestation and mindset with proven business strategy to help you break through income plateaus, dissolve subconscious blocks, and build a soul-aligned business that supports the lifestyle you actually want. If you're an entrepreneur who's tired of trading time for money and ready to quantum leap your income, you're in the right place. This is where woo meets business. Let's go.
Well, I am so excited because today on the Quantum Wealth podcast, we have an amazingly fierce entrepreneur and woman and a student of mine as well. Please welcome Kieryn Wong to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're here. You are just so magical in so many ways. I'm so excited for my listeners to get to know you and hear your story. But let's start with a little bit about who you are. Tell me about your business, all the things.
I'm Kieryn. I mean, basically, I'm just an email marketer who helps businesses who want to reach their customers and connect with their community, do that without depending on social. Not that I don't love it. I do love social, but I focus more on email. And yeah, how long have we been working together for in Quantum Wealth Academy?
It's 5 months.
5 months.
Almost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wild. Wild.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does. It does. I feel like we've gotten through so much, but there's also still so much left to explore.
That's the blessing and the curse of this work.
The more you know, you realize the less you know.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your brand, though, and almost because I think it's so fun who you work with and the industries and kind of your whole outlook on marketing.
Yeah, so with my new business, Almost, it's focused more on beauty and wellness e-com brands, mostly because those are a lot of the women-owned brands that I want to be working with. I want to help women be able to like live the everyday lives that they want. So, for example, if they want to take the day off and go on a hike or spend the day with their kids or, I don't know, pick up and take a Euro vacation on a whim, whatever it looks like, I want them to be able to do that. And so, yeah, that's why I help them with their email to be able to make money while they're sleeping, while they're not at their computers, that kind of thing. And also, I think financial freedom is just freedom in general, right? So like, what can we do to get people there? I guess I didn't really realize that's what I was doing until I just said that out loud.
I love that because really, like, you and I have kind of the same mission in a way.
Yeah,
right?
I was just realizing, I was like, we're coming at the same like goal in very different ways, but to each their own, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just love your approach to not just marketing and making money and life, but just like you have just this zest for life, right? It's all the things. Even, I don't know, I think it's so cool that like, how long ago did you move to Portugal? You just uprooted your whole life and decided to become European. Like, I love it so much.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little over 9 months ago, which is only like 4 months since we started working. This whole timeline feels really strange. Like, time is truly not real, as you say, as you teach.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So tell me what led you to Quantum Wealth Academy and why you joined my group program.
So I met you January of last year, 2025. I was very intrigued by your business right from the jump. And I was going through a lot though, because I was moving, I was starting a second business, I was selling my house. And so I was doing a lot. And I knew at some point I wanted to work with you because just the things that you were sharing and the mindset that you had, I was like, ooh, that's some sort of like quantum leap shifts, big shifts that I really wanted to have because I've been in business since 2018, which is actually, I just came across my 8-year anniversary of my business. And pandemic wise, I had really, really plateaued with not just my financials, but also with my energy and my excitement. And I was coasting. And I feel like I've said that to you, that word. I've
Yeah.
used that word quite a bit when talking about sort of the years prior to last year. And so anyway, I knew I wanted to work with you. I didn't really know how. And then you announced your coaching container, which if you follow me or you know me, you know I love a good group coaching program, which is actually a huge shift from even 2 years ago. I didn't really like group coaching. I liked one-on-one because I felt like you were getting more of that attention and I wanted my money's worth. I'm like, pay attention to me and me alone. And then I joined a really wonderful business coaching group program, and that changed sort of my mindset on learning with others. I mean, small group, right? Containers. Learning with others, realizing that like we all go through the same things in different ways, like same problems, but just different sort of containers and mechanisms in which they're presented to us. And it lets you feel a lot less alone when you're in a group of people and you're actually learning from other people's questions and other people's situations and realizing that like, oh my gosh, again, going back to like the more you know, the more you realize the less you know. And yeah, so I was like group coaching with Jillian, love it, I'm in, let's do this. And I really wanted to, or still want to, push through the ceiling that I had hit with my revenue. And I knew, as you always share, it's like it was me, it was my mind. It wasn't like that I needed to work harder or that I needed to hustle more or that I needed to do this or that. It was that I needed to actually, instead of externally pushing and doing all that, I needed to go internal and evaluate and reflect and learn to align and attract instead.
Yeah. I think that's why you've been so successful, not just in QWA, but just in general in business and in life, is because you're kind of the dream client in the sense that you take the responsibility and you know that the work is internal and it's yours and that you have all the power. And just that's what every coach really wants for their client, is for them to see that, because that's how you make the shifts when you take control, because that's how you quantum leap. That's how you change your life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm gonna clip that audio and I'm gonna just like share it and remind myself that I am the dream client. I'm the dream student. As a lifelong teacher's pet, that makes me really happy to hear. And also just like, oh my gosh, how much I've learned. And like, I really make it a point. I don't miss a single call. I don't slack on going through the course videos. And I mean, some weeks I do slack, but in general, I try not to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's so unique about you is that you see the good in every program that you invest in. You know that the work is on you and you show up. But that's something we talked a little bit about in QWA, was that you've done a lot of group coaching and how do you want to show up? So how did the way you show up in QWA and working with me kind of shift the way you were in all your group coaching containers?
Yeah, I mean, I will say, so 2025, I did like, oh gosh, I want to say 5, 6, maybe 7 different coaching programs, like
That's so many,
a
Kieryn.
little bit of group, a little bit of one-on-one. And I know you've had content where it's like, if you're taking so many coaching programs, like, are you getting a lot out of it? Which is a great question to ask yourself, which I did have to. I was like, oh my God, Jillian's reading me right now. Like, But then I was like, okay, I'm not going to do any more group coaching, or I'm not going to do any more coaching. I need to implement. And then you announced your program, and I was like, damn it, I need this. I need this so badly. So then I joined your group coaching program with Quantum Wealth Academy. I joined a body confidence group coaching program, and I also joined more of a one-on-one psychic alignment coaching program. And it's actually really interesting. This trifecta currently that I'm in has actually been so holistically transformative because what I'm learning from you, I'm applying to my body confidence. What I'm learning in my body confidence, I'm applying here, and I'm applying to my psychic alignment coaching. And it's just been, there will be weeks that go by where it's just so many synchronistic lessons that I'm like, oh, I just learned that on Tuesday with Jillian, and now I'm learning it on Wednesday morning here, and then I'm learning it on Wednesday afternoon again. It's like the universe is trying to reinforce those lessons with me. And that is also kind of why I like your Quantum Wealth Academy being on Tuesday, because it kind of sets me up for the week in terms of like setting the intention, going over all the ways that I can shift my mindset. And it has been, I mean, there's still work that's being done and implementation and internalization. But what I will say is that there are a lot of things that I do on a daily basis that have, I know shift is, I wish there was a better word than shift, like that I've just gotten to another lily pad. Have you heard of the lily pad theory?
Yes.
Right, where you like don't see it until you get to the next lily pad and you're like, oh, look at all this new stuff that I wasn't seeing from the other angle. And that's really how I feel about Quantum Wealth Academy, is like, it just takes me to the next lily pad that gives me more perspective on so many other things. And then I can like bring another lily pad closer and jump on that one. And you know, it's like, I almost feel like I can manufacture, that also feels like the wrong word because that feels so like capitalistic. Oh, but I can build the life that I'm looking for, and every single module that's in Quantum Wealth Academy addresses so many of those things really well in the way it flows. I'm not even done with all the videos, and I'm already have so many tools that I'm trying to use, trying not to burn out using every day or anything, but using when I need it. And boy, do I need it a lot lately.
Well, that's where you're extra. I remember on one of our coaching calls, you're like, but I have to do all the things every day, every week in all my programs. Yeah. And I was like, girl, this is like a lifetime of tools. You take what you need. You don't have to do them all right here, right now, right?
Yeah.
Like it's there as a resource, because one thing about me, I took so long on QWA. I wasn't someone who was filming it as I was selling it and enrolling people. It's just so not my personality. I had to have it, even though I would like coach myself on this if I were the client, like perfect before I rolled it out. But I wanted all the tools there so that people could pick and choose them, right? Because you can go back to that in several years when you're in a different space, and it's going to land differently, and you may use different tools than you used right now.
It almost reminds me of the artist's way. You know, where it's like it's like 12 weeks, you sit down, you commit to it, and it almost, you need to revisit it like yearly or on a consistent basis throughout your life, because you're going to look at it differently, you know, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, 5 years, whatever it is. So to me, I'm like, I kind of just, I know it's so much information, which is amazing, but I'm like, do I have the capacity to do a yearly sort of review of Quantum Wealth Academy modules? I think I should. I think we all should.
I need to make it into a little snippet of this is what you do every year so you don't get like overwhelmed, right? Like these are the things to check in on throughout the wealth method, which is like my signature framework that is in the program. Yeah. Because you've worked with so many coaches and in so many programs, I love how you're doing Mind, Body, Soul right now with all of your different programs. That. It's kind of a nice package, which is probably why it's working so well for you, is it's a really nice complement. But what for you makes a coach or a relationship with a coach or a container not just inspirational, but actually transformational?
I think gentle firmness. Is that the right way to put it? I think what you have, I mean, I don't want to like phrase this wrong and to have people interpret what I'm about to say incorrectly, but like, you are not afraid to tell me how it is. And I love that. I love that you're like, okay, so what I'm hearing from what you're saying is this. And I'm like, huh? Yeah. And it's like a little insulting that like you just peer into my soul and you're like, here, let me extract this like deep, dark shadow thought or feeling or money block or whatever it is that you have, and let's figure out, let's get to the root of it. and then let's work on it from there. And that's really what I love about a good coach, is just being able to reflect everything back to you in a, gentle way, but also firm, because it's like, I don't want to coddle you, right? You don't want to coddle me as a coach, but you also don't want me to get freaked out and abandon the work or anything like that. So I think you balance that and walk that line really well. And also just like, I think the other word I'm looking for is just accountability. You follow up about things that we've talked about. You're like, okay, you said you were going to do that thing last week. Did you do it? And you have to show up each week like ready to answer that question or at least have a plan of how you're going to address it, how you're going to implement it, all of that good stuff. And then I think the other thing about a good coach is fostering that connection between everyone in the program or everyone in your community. And I think you do a great job of like checking, as you check in with people, then other people are like, oh, I know what this person is working on. I might want to work on those same things. So let me go ahead and pay attention when they're on the call and they're going through their questions and getting coached. And it's kind of this like nice ecosystem of learning and of accountability and of just getting read for filth, but in the best way.
I love that. And I love the way you put that, because I actually think it's important people know if they're going to work with me. And like, it's on my website, it's on my questionnaire. Like, are you okay with honest, direct feedback? Because of course I have like a gentle approach if people need that, especially. But like, I'm just not the coach you come to when you want to be coddled, when you're not going to take action, when you're not going to actually do the things, right?
Yeah, I've been in quite a few coaching programs where there's just no like follow through on what you're learning, because the coach doesn't really, not that they don't encourage it, it's just that they don't address it. And when it doesn't get addressed, then people are like, God, so many programs where like people don't show up to half the calls, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, this is such valuable time, even in my own membership. Like, if my members are listening to this, I love you, but some of y'all don't show up to the workshops and the implementation time and the Q&A time. Like, I am giving you 3 hours a month of my like very, very one-on-one attention, helping you through any problems that you may have, holding your hand, helping you click the buttons, whatever it is that you need. And if you're not going to take advantage of that, I guess you're not, but like, I want you to, right? And I think what you do such a great job of is getting people to want to show up, because I think for you, especially in your program, once someone implements something, like they start to see those changes pretty quickly. And it's like, that's why it's called Quantum Wealth Academy. It's like quantum speed once you're ready to actually take action. And it's the lack of action and lack of follow through. It's a missed opportunity. You're not making the most of your money and ROI and whatever words you want to use there. But like, if you just show up, you do the work, you ask the questions, I know it sounds so simple. It's a lot easier said than done. But once you do it, like, I'm like, that shit will change a fucking life. Like, I'm completely serious about that. Yeah, you can quote me on that.
I love that you see this, like, not as a coach, but in your membership, that like, it is so simple. The people that show up and do the work are the one who get the results. Because as a coach who wants people to succeed so badly, I've had to do a lot of my own coaching on this, on like, when people don't show up 110% or even like 80% or 50%, and then they don't get the results. That was really hard for me when I started coaching, and even at the beginning of my group program. But just what always happens is the people who show up the most, the people who do the work, the people on the back end, when I can see where they are in the modules, are the ones making the most money. They're the ones the most successful. They're the ones making the biggest changes. And so like, I'm sure it's the same with your membership. The people who show up to your calls and take your expertise and the coaching are the ones that are succeeding with their emails.
Yes, exactly. And I wish I could say that like, I get it. Life is hard, especially these days. Like, the world is crazy. But it's like, if you're going to spend the money on a membership or a coaching program or whatever it is, like, you're investing in yourself. Why wouldn't you show up? Why wouldn't you put that time and that effort in to get the most out of, like, I'm a little concerned that my time in, Quantum Wealth Academy is like coming to a close, because I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And just having that, like, really valuable access to your brain, you, Jillian, as a coach, like, as this incredible manifester of anything that you desire, abundance, wealth, prosperity, all of that. It has just been really, really amazing to watch. And I'm like, I'll have what she's having, like that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, that's like the biggest compliment you can give me. I love that. Thank you so much. I really own that. So one thing for me that is also hard as a coach is that I know that right now you need to implement. And of course I have an alumni program where, like, I want you to stay in QWA forever because you're such a star student. And also I know probably the best thing for you right now is to not be in a program and to go implement on your own.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's bittersweet.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's so bittersweet for me because I'm going to miss you so much. And also I know that, like, you're going to go do the work and you're going to continue to flourish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I can't wait to, maybe I won't have access to Slack, but at the least I can, like, DM you or email you and be like, here's more money that came in, or like, here's more transformative stuff that's happening in my business and in my life, because of it feels like big shifts, but it's almost like all these tiny little shifts that, like, add up into this exponential and huge monumental shifts that are happening because you're doing the little ones. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the compound effect.
Compound effect. Yes. Compound interest.
Just like compound interest.
Exactly.
Yes.
We love compound interest. But it's true. Like,
So
this
good.
work is exactly the same, where you're taking these little, like, interests, you're reinvesting, and then, like, you turn around 6 months later, a year later, and you're like, how far? Like, I was all the way back there, like, and I thought that was as far as I could go, which is just completely not true. You have and I know, even after I implement everything I learn in Quantum Wealth Academy, like, that's just the beginning. There's so much more journey ahead, and I feel a lot more confident about embarking on that journey rather than, oh gosh, I mean, I'm not completely without doubt, we're still working on that, but, like, it has come a long way from even 5 months ago, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I've always noticed, like, when I would coach you, like, you just have this incredible growth mindset. Like, I remember we were relating something to the gym and I gave you this, like, ridiculous number of, like, well, could you lift this? And you're like, well, maybe one day. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, the delusional, right? Like, that we believe the really big, scary, like, that's possible. And I think that's half of it, is believing that it's possible for you.
Yeah. And the delusion, like, one day it's delusion, and then however many months down the line, or even weeks or whatever it is down the line, it's like, I thought that was delusional. That was very realistic. Like, let me show you delusional, universe.
Yeah. And delusion was something we talked about at the beginning of the year, like, for the new year, of, like, year of the Delulu. Like, let's get as delusional as possible, because it's so important. Because the more delusional you get, the more you're able to manifest.
Yeah.
Like, you get the things that seem so delusional, like you said, just aren't anymore, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see, after my sort of implementation time, internalization, maybe in 6 months, like, I can't wait to come back and be like, guess what? We're manifesting this now. And I hope that when I tell you that, you're going to be, like, blown away. I hope so. I know so.
No, I'll be like, of course you did, right?
Exactly.
What would you say was the biggest surprise or shift when you joined QWA that, like, you just didn't see coming?
Ooh, I think for me, it was that there are so many tools at I mean, again, I do go a little ham with the tools sometimes, but just the fact that there are so many options of, like, your money thermostat tracker, which is like a great visualization tool. And also so many other things like anchoring, using the physicality of your body with tapping, and almost like somatic as well. And then moving into more of that, like breaking or at the very least pausing or just preventing the bad neural pathways. Is bad the right word? But just the neural pathways that aren't serving you. Undesirable. The ones that don't serve you. The ones that sure, maybe protected you in a certain time. I mean, here we go. Are you ready for a coaching session? Coaching by Kieryn. It's like, your ego is trying to protect you. It wants to help you. Your inner critic is trying to help you. It wants to protect you. That's totally understandable. But it's like they're actually holding you back. They want you to feel comfortable and be safe, but that's it's like a prison inside your mind, or like a prison in your body, right? And when you realize that there's so much out there that you can utilize to manifest, to align, to attract, to call in wealth, and to change how you see the world, which in turn changes how the world sees you, I think that has been sort of the biggest mental jump for me, is realizing that powering through and doing the same thing that you've already been doing, but with more effort, is not the way to go, which is what I've always been taught, right? Especially with the very Chinese cultural background that I grew up in, is you work hard, you show up, you work more hard, you show up, you work even harder, and then you'll be rich. Or is that the life that we want to live? No, I don't. Nobody, as Kim Kardashian says, nobody wants to work anymore, which is true. And I want to work less and earn more. And this is exactly the right place to do that, if that's what you're looking for too.
Yeah. Ooh, so good. So what has changed in your actual business in the last 5 months?
Well, I'm still very much in a growing pains sort of situation. Well, I did hire someone since we first started working together, and that was a really, really big hurdle for me, because I've always been deathly afraid of being a micromanager. I've always been scared of what if I don't have enough to pay someone, and I don't want to be that client who doesn't pay on time and is paying people late and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, calling out my own client right now who's doing that. Won't name names, but hope they don't listen to this. But I think that hiring my first assistant and being in this phase of yes, things are a little slow on certain fronts, but it's a lot of that back end work. And I will say that if I weren't in Quantum Wealth Academy, this background work, grinding behind the scenes in order to show up even more fully, in order to build the team that I'm looking to build, in order to reach the people that I'm looking to reach, I would be terrified if I weren't in this program right now. I would be I'm not making enough. Don't have enough clients. People aren't paying me on time. I would have all these really limiting beliefs, belittling thoughts, inner critique, that it's not that it's not totally there, because obviously I came up with all that pretty easily off the top of my head. But if I weren't in Quantum Wealth Academy, and if I hadn't started working with you, I wouldn't be in this mindset that I'm currently in, which is sure, things feel a little slow right now, but sit in that slowness, because that shit's gonna pop off so soon in a way that I'm gonna be oh my gosh, I wish I had taken more time off and gone to the beach and whatever when things were a little slower. And I have this innate sureness. I know that by February of next year, or even sooner, everything that I was wishing for will come to fruition. It will happen. I will have this membership with hundreds of members. I will have a beautiful lineup of clients. I will have maybe even a more built out team. All the systems will be in place. Everything that I want is coming. And gosh, if I weren't in QWA right now, like, it would be the exact opposite. I'm like, nothing's coming. I'm going to die poor and alone and no one's going to care about me. And like, yeah, I think just being here in this coaching program with this amazing cohort of other wonderful members, it's been really inspiring. And it also has just been like cementing this confidence in me that I want to say I had, but like I didn't really have a harness or like a hold of before.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. That's so good. And I can edit this out if you want, but what I also think is really unique is you're really successful in your business, you're making money, you're doing well, and you're in a position where you're realizing, oh, I kind of need to step back and figure out what I really want, like slow down to speed up. It's like the bow and arrow, like you're pulling the arrow back so it can propel forward. And even from talking to you last week, you sound so much more okay with that.
Yes, I think that's a great way to put it. I am definitely much more okay with it because, gosh, it's so interesting. Like, I love to panic about business, about what's not coming or what should be coming or expectations that I have of myself and my OCPD and my perfectionism and my tiger mom upbringing and just all of these things that have like built this like really anxious little girl who all she wants to do is do things well and to show up perfectly and to blah, 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 blah. And like, not that I've totally unlearned that, but I am, like you said, a lot more okay with shedding that identity. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what's propelling you forward. That's what's creating your success. That's what's allowing you to work less, earn more, live that life as your future identity. Yeah. If you had to tell yourself something 2 years ago from yourself now, what would you say?
One thing, I feel like I have like 5 things I'm trying to tell myself. I think the first thing is maybe have a little more discernment about everything, but like, you don't have to join every coaching program. You don't have to chase after every client. You don't have to like let the riffraff in. Like, you can be a better bouncer at the door and only be very selective about what kind of energy you welcome in. Another thing that I think we learned, like, honestly, the first week of Quantum Wealth Academy is like what you're engaging with online or in regular life, in the real world. The things that like, the things that you share, the things that you send, the things that you comment on, what you engage with like mentally and signal to the universe that like, oh, I relate to this or whatever, that can come back to bite you sometimes, right? So I have always been if you follow me, you know, I love to be a hater. I love to hold a grudge and all the things that I shouldn't love. As a Scorpio, naturally, innately love it. But I have actually been a lot more intentional with the things I do watch and consume, because everything we consume is like, it's all energy. And there's certain energies that I just like, I love a low vibrational energy. So I love a petty energy sometimes. But I know, learning from you and just like my higher energetic vibrational being knows that's not gonna serve me, and like I do need to unlearn that eventually. Maybe not today. I want to be an asshole for a little longer, but we're getting there. We know what the goal is. Yeah.
Kieryn and her self-awareness, everyone. I love it.
Yeah. It's the awareness and the actual action sometimes aren't always aligned, but we'll see.
But that's kind of the hardest part for a lot of people, is the awareness. So you say that if you had to go back, you'd have more discernment about not just the clients and whatnot, but the programs that you joined. What has been some of your favorite coaching programs you've joined? And what are the things that you would be like, ooh, that would give you pause that you wouldn't join in if you had to do it all over?
I think when the marketing or that first discovery call with the potential coach or going into a potential program, like when they're trying to sell you a little too hard on it, when they're like, your life is going to look like this and this and that. And sure, that sounds really wonderful. But what I really love about how you talk about Quantum Wealth Academy and how you talk about working with you is that unless you're going to show up and take action, none of anything you learn is going to matter. And so just this realistic, if you're hearing someone try to like convince you a little too much about why you should join their program, like maybe take a step back, evaluate, why am I choosing this like particular coach? I'm trying to think of an example because I feel like this has come up recently for me. It was when your mom in the call that we just had with her, where she was like, if they're trying to convince you a little too much, like take a step back and reevaluate, because that's not the right energy. Whereas I think when a coach is like, this is what I can help you with, this is what we can learn together, but if this isn't how you want to learn, or this isn't what you're looking for, like we don't need to work together. There are a lot of coaches out there. There are a lot of other ways. If this isn't your learning style or whatever, like, and being really honest about who you are as a coach and who the client is as a person, right? And those kinds of coaches are the ones where they're like, this is what I'm going to offer you. This is what you're going to do to make the most of it. And if none of that resonates with you, we'll go each our own way. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Versus the people who are like, you're going to make X amount of money working with me. You're going to do this working with me. You're going to do that working with me. And it's like, oh gosh, every time, I will say, now that I'm reviewing in my brain the coaching programs that I didn't get a lot out of, it was those people who were just trying to like sell at the beginning.
And looking back, do you think that your intuition told you not to hire them and you did it anyway?
Probably, yeah. But at that time, my ego was loud enough, and my ego, my whole life has been way louder than my intuition. Well, as it is, usually. But my ego has always been able to, probably my whole life, talk me out of a lot of things that my gut knew was wrong. And now I'm a lot better, not totally perfect, but a lot better at identifying what is my ego trying to tell me versus what my intuition is trying to tell me. Yeah.
So much better than you give yourself credit for.
Ooh, thank you for that. You're not the first person who said that, and still part of me is like having a hard time receiving it. So let me open and receive.
Well, that's even what we talked about with my mom last week.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, your mom is so cool. If you haven't gone and listened to the episode with Jillian and her mom, go listen to that. Like, pause this and go listen to it right now, because she is so cool. I love her so much.
Everyone does. It's like when I was telling you guys, I just can't wait to have her in QWA because it will be relevant. Like, I had a hard time figuring out how to present her and whatnot, but just everyone I present her to or everyone she meets is just like, they're always impressed, right?
There doesn't need to be structure with her, honestly, because she will drop like gems no matter what the structure is, truly.
I know. It's so good. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Okay, so I have some like rapid fire questions that I would love to ask you. We'll see how rapid they are, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm always like not very good at the rapid part, but
What's the best investment you've made in your business this last year?
Quantum Wealth Academy. Easily. And I'm not just saying that because I'm like on this podcast.
You're with me.
And I'm not being paid. She's not paying me to say this. Like, yeah, easily.
I love that. I'm so glad I asked that.
Yeah.
What's one thing that QWA changed that people wouldn't see from the outside?
Probably the like confidence and the sureness I have in the decisions I make now, because I would have long time ago, not even that long ago, like hemmed and hawed and blah, 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 and asked a bunch of people for their opinions and whatever. And now I'm like, this is a decision I'm going to make, and I'm either going to learn from it and need to pivot, or it's going to be the right decision. But like, I know that right now, this is what I need to do. And I don't know if that's totally obvious. I am a pretty like open book. I'm very vocal about what I do and don't do, but like, I don't know if people are totally going to see that right away.
Ooh, that's so invaluable though. I love that. It's overrated in marketing right now.
Trends, chasing trends. Everyone who's like, oh, like, let me just do this trend. I'm like, show up as yourself. Either you show up as yourself or you're not successful. And that's how I feel about that.
Favorite book or podcast you're listening to or reading right now?
Ooh, well, I love normal gossip. So podcast-wise, I'm just like gossip. because I used to be really like personal development, business development. And I will say Quantum Wealth is a great podcast to listen to. But personally, I love a good gossip podcast.
I am terrible because I binge all the personal development, but then sometimes I just need to turn my brain off. And I gave up true crime. That was how I
Yeah.
anyway, I decided it was like lower vibration and I need to give it up even though I loved it. And now I don't have anything to indulge in when I don't want to learn. So I will definitely check that out.
It's a good one.
Finish the sentence. The version of me that built this business cannot be the version that what?
That gets it where it needs to go.
Yeah. Okay, so tell people about your membership, where they can find you. I know you have a special offer for our listeners.
Yeah, so you can find me at It's Almost on Instagram. That's also my website link. It will be hopefully linked below.
Obviously.
And then the Conversion Club, my membership that I referenced, that I hope if you join, you show up and make the most of the workshops that I provide and the implementation sessions and everything. But basically, the Conversion Club, we learn one email marketing topic a month, like starting with the real foundational stuff, and we're working our way to more advanced topics. And then I also give you time to come ask your questions and to literally like office hours it with me, where I'm available to ask anything. I'm available to help screen share and help you, set things up. Whatever it is that you need, that's what I'm here for. So yeah, come join the Conversion Club if you're looking to up your email marketing game, or if you don't know where to start with email marketing. It's a really valuable tool for your business and for your personal brand if that's what you're trying to grow. We have a coupon. If you use the code WEALTH, you get $30 off your first month of the Conversion Club. And I really hope that once you come in, you realize like, oh my gosh, this is gonna help me get my shit together when it comes to email marketing. That's the goal. And then I also wanted to share a special gift, a special thank you for having me on and for listening to this episode. You definitely can use it for your business, for your work, but also for your life. Like, I feel like maybe I should convert it into like more of a life-related template as well, but you can definitely do that. It's an analytics tracker and a marketing calendar planner, and hopefully it'll let you really, what doesn't get measured doesn't get managed. So take a look at what's working, what's not working in your business, in your life, and turning it around and making the most of it and being able to make that money while you sleep, because that's what we're trying to do at the end of the day.
Yes, I love this. Oh, a good money-making tool. I love it. I can't wait to check it out myself. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And then the final question that I ask everyone who comes on the podcast is, what is wealth to you?
Wealth is freedom. Freedom to, I am probably going to sound like a broken record here, but like freedom to literally live the life that you want. If you want to move to a new country, if you want to cut ties with your family. I mean, I'm pulling from real personal examples here. If you want to like live that Euro life, or live that Southeast Asian life, or live that whatever kind of life that you want to be filling your days and your nights and your dreams and your memories and your experiences, like wealth will get you there.
Oh, I love that. So good. This has been so fun, Kieryn. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your wisdom and your wins. And it's just been such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. And also thank you for all the knowledge that you've shared. Like, it is really life-changing. And I hope everyone takes advantage of it.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you. All right. Thank you. Until next Thursday, everyone, happy manifesting.
That's a wrap on today's episode. If you're still here, I know you're serious about quantum leaping your income, and that commitment is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Here's what I want you to do next. Pick one insight from today and take action on it. Because here's the thing, transformation happens in the implementation, not just the inspiration. If this episode shifted something for you, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen. It helps other ambitious, heart-centered women find the show. And if you're ready to take this work deeper and finally break through that income plateau, I'd love to invite you to book a discovery call with me. Because here's the thing, podcasts give you the what, but coaching gives you the how. It's what takes you from, I know what I should be doing, to, holy shit, I actually did it. Head to the show notes or to jillianminter.com to grab your spot on my calendar. Until next week, keep choosing abundance over scarcity, alignment over hustle, and remember, you're meant for more. You just have to believe it's yours.